Thank the Lord God I'm alive, that I can walk around, that I got a phone that I can make a recording on. And although I got no friends to hold the camera and pan it or do anything, but at least, I'm all right. I'm all right here. And yeah. So here we are for the Life of Phil, part 3. There's a bit of a problem with these videos. I don't know how I'm going to finish them off because there's a whole lot of stuff that maybe I shouldn't even ever be, publicly known, because like you kind of don't go around telling people how to make things that can, like there's a whole lot of people out there that can't be trusted with anything. So you don't go and tell um, you know all the mental people in your neighbourhood how to make a nuclear bomb or whatever. So it's kind of a little bit. It's going to get really tricky. I don't know how I'm going to finish this off. And I got no one to talk to decide what to put in the video and what not, or how to navigate around bits of the story that maybe it shouldn't be broadcast. And I want to tell the story, but I don't quite know how to do it, and it's going to be quite difficult. So I hope I can somehow finish this series off. But we're getting up to the stage where there's stuff that you know could cause a lot of problems. In fact, I might not even be able to say some of it. I might be blocked from broadcast, for publishing some of it. I'm not too sure, but I've got to try and navigate around it somehow. I'm not quite too sure how. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of pretty difficult. But anyway, I'm going to go back a little bit from where I finished off at part 2. I was at the Central Institute of Technology in Upper Hutt, Wellington, New Zealand. And I was boarding with some people. And I started going to a little church. Kind of what most people, even I thought they were religious nuts. They were kind of like really, they used to talk in tongues a lot and kind of get all excited and but anyway, while I was there, I decided to get baptized in there. They had a baptism service in their church, and I didn't have any friends or family there, but I got baptized in the church. I went, I had my fellow church people, but I went up and got baptized. And after I got baptized, to my surprise, they gave me 3 Bible chapters. So, they try and give you prophetic, not pathetic, prophetic Bible verses that they think God's given to them that will apply to your life. And one of them was Psalm 25, one of them was Psalm 91, and the other one was Isaiah 35. Now, the 2 Psalms have pretty much came true for the most part, except I'm not rich. But one Psalm said I was going to be prosperous. But basically, I thought it sounded really good that I'd have all this protection. God was going to protect me, and 10,000 would die, 1,000 at my left hand and 10,000 at my right, but would not come near me. I thought that sounded pretty good, but I didn't realise it wasn't very nice having 10,000 people die beside you. I never really thought about what it really means, and I just thought it sounded good. I was going to have protection and la-di-la-di-la, this is great, and I'm going to be rich. And I didn't actually realise that I'd need protection because a whole lot of people were going to try and kill me and psychologically attack me and try and psychologically torture me and manipulate me into doing what they want, I didn't actually realise that's what it meant, but anyway, maybe you could, if you feel like it, you could go and look up those Psalms, Psalm 25, Psalm 91, and the other one's Isaiah 35, which in a funny roundabout way has kind of come true as well, or could potentially come true. Isaiah 35 is about streams in the desert, which I thought was like the Holy Spirit coming up upon the land and changing the world, or changing, like I thought that's what the streams in the desert was. But in the Bible, when you really look further into it, they talk about cisterns being a wife, or streams in the street perhaps being children who are born, and basically where you go to get sex. They talk about streams, brooks, cisterns, and a desert being somewhere where you don't have any sex. So basically, I suppose I am in a desert because I hardly ever had any. So yeah, I don't quite know how that all works out, but at the end of Isaiah 35, it has the pilgrims celebrating and going into Zion. Well, I think that's what it is. They're going into their but anyway, but you can read those. I'm not going to read them. Like, I haven't got time. I already made 7 minutes of video about nothing, but it is kind of quite important. Maybe I should read them. But I basically, Psalm 91 has happened. I've had people try and murder me. I've had God's protection. He saved me at least 3 or 4 times from the intelligence service by their parable stories more. But it's a little bit ironic that this kind of happened, but I didn't understand why, or what it would mean when I actually received those chapters. I had no idea. I probably would have run away if I'd known. But anyway. Back to the story. I was working at Stark and Greenwood, the refrigeration company. Thanks, Stark and Greenwood, for giving me that job and putting up with me all those years, by the way. In fact, I probably wouldn't be alive today if you hadn't helped me. I know it cost you a lot of money, but anyway, thanks. In fact, the intelligence service said I was like half a labour unit. So that was probably when I was at my best. So basically, I worked there for 20 years. That means I worked there for 10 years. But basically, I cost, but anyway, it's several $100,000 anyway. Basically, because I'm half a labour unit, so they pay me as a labour unit, so I've cost them a whole heap of money. But yeah, but thanks. I did enjoy a lot of it too. Sometimes you were very kind to me, and a lot of it was very good. And engineering was fascinating, and I was very lucky to see the stuff you did, and I was very lucky to work there. Yeah. So anyway, going on with the story, I'm not quite too sure what to say. In fact, I might turn the video off for a second while I think about what I'm actually going to go on to next. Yeah, okay, just a minute. I'll be back in a minute. If I work out what button to push to stop the. So I was quite depressed. I wasn't getting any, and I was too scared to have any, and I thought I should get married before I had sex. So anyway, I was sort of like a pretty sad person. Everyone else seemed to be having it. and I was really, really horny. But anyway, eventually I came off Christianity for a while. Kind of got really angry at God for a while. I thought it was all his fault, and he made me life harder than it should be. So I went a bit wayward from God for a while, and then I decided stuff it. I'm going to go to a prostitute. So I looked at the paper and I found this prostitute, and I don't know, I think she's calling herself Candy or something, I can't remember, but and I went to this house and I knocked on the wrong door and asked to talk to Candy. So I come to see Candy. No, Candy lives around here. There's no Candy. And then she opens her window of a house next door. She says, "Over this house, love. You're in the wrong house. Over this house." So, so I go in and she's quite an old lady. She's probably 45 or 50. I was only about, I don't know what I was. But I was quite old too. I was probably at least 30. But maybe older. I really don't know. So anyway, we play around for a bit, and she was pretty good. She, you know, I think prostitutes kind of get a bad rap. You know, some people kind of like even like to abuse them and beat them up, and some murderers will kill prostitutes rather than anyone else, thinking that maybe they deserve it. I don't know why, but they do a good job, and a lot of what they do is really hard, and they have some good. They really help some people sometimes, and I actually think prostitutes get a bit of a bad rap. I don't think they're really appreciated as much as they should be. I'm not. Well, at least I just, yeah, I actually, she really helped me. She was really kind and good, and did a good job, and it really helped me. And so yeah. I don't think one should go to prostitutes all the time or anything. I don't think it's a good thing to have it to be into, or a good thing, sort of, But in some cases, I think they do a good job. And so after that, I had a girlfriend for a while. After that, I was flattered in the place with a old Filipino lady, and one of my flatmates was a Taiwanese woman who became a good friend of mine. She was learning English at the English school in Nelson, and we hung out together and we drove around a bit, and yeah, and then she came to visit me once from Taiwan. She flew over. We drove around the South Island of New Zealand, and another time I went to visit her in Australia. She was living in Australia at the time, and yeah, but anyway, by passing that, eventually I started. I asked a woman out that I met on one of those premises that I was working at as an air conditioning person, and there's a receptionist there, and I don't know if I should use her real name, but anyway, I asked her out on a date, and we dated a little bit, and then I moved in with her in her house. She had a house in the poor part of town. I'm in the poor part of town here too, but I rented this place out. This place here, I rented out, and I went and lived with her for a couple of years, and she had 3 kids. Who were quite old. They were good kids, and they used to come and visit quite often on the weekends, and so I got to play kind of like pretend father, and we played a lot of PlayStation games, and I don't know. I used to drive the girls to their sleepovers at their friends' houses, and drove the boy back to and from his job at the supermarket. They were good kids, and we had a chinchilla that we bought, and yeah, anyway, I lived there a couple of years, but we kind of broke up. I don't really want to talk about that too much. We broke up on good terms. It was all right. It was fine, but I went back to eventually back to this place, and she continued living where she was, but we almost bought a house together. We were going to sell both our places and buy a house together. And we found this. We rather foolishly went and looked at this house we saw on Trade Me real estate. Still quite a poor area of town, but it was a bit flashier than this, and it was quite a fairly big house. It was I think it was 180 square meters, and it's all built up on different levels, sort of going up a hill. And I have to say, I quite liked it. And we put in an offer on it, conditional to selling our places, and we secured the offer. But because there's an out clause, if they could get someone else to offer on it, we could be booted out. And so we started trying to sell our places, and we had this really great real estate agent who's um, um, selling us the house we wanted to move into. She wanted to sell our houses, and she was really good. You could just kind of tell, she was really, and she said, yeah, we can do it, we'll do it. And she said about doing it, and then about a week after she started selling our houses, she got a brain tumor, and a few weeks after that she was dead. And we got her sidekick, which was only really interested in buying and selling houses to make money for himself. And yeah, but it all fell through anyway. So we come very, very close to living together and owning a house together, but it never quite happened because the real estate agent got a tumor in her head and died a few weeks later. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, so I went back to living here, and I was still working at Stark and Greenwood, and working away, and um, God, I've just about done 14 minutes of this video already. I better just I just got to check things out here. Anyway, this might be it for this video. I'm sorry it's a bit boring. I just sort of lay a bit of background. It's you can't just you got to have a little bit of a background of things. So anyway, have a good day. See you later, and yeah, God bless. Bye bye.